Today is Friday, and it's our last devotion out of the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, as we look at verse 14 today. One thing that is very interesting to me here is it says that this will be a perpetual statute throughout your generations. And so we talk about the idea that God gave them this festival to remember all the good things that He had done for them and the things He had given them. There are the first fruits. There's the sacrificial lamb. There is a bread or a grain offering and a drink offering, and these things are completed in Jesus. One thing I want to mention, that we're going to go back to the idea of first fruits that we mentioned on Tuesday, but 1 Corinthians 15:20. In 1 Corinthians 15:20, Paul says that Christ is like the first fruits of the resurrection. Man, there is a promise there that we see Christ being raised from the dead, and if we have identified with Him, Galatians 2:20, I've been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. You know, the life I now live, I live by faith in the Son of God. So if we identify with Him on the cross, Paul also says in Romans, how much more shall we identify with Him in the resurrection? He's the first fruits of the resurrection. Man, there's a promise there that we too will be resurrected, that we too will have eternal life. So I hope this week that you've been encouraged to not just skip over these festivals that we read in the Old Testament. Sometimes Leviticus can be really laborious to read. It can just feel like it's a drain. I get that. But man, when we see these connections from the Old Testament to the New Testament, it brings new life to our reading and our understanding, and just a deeper appreciation and love for Jesus and what He has done. And I hope that's been an encouragement to you this week. So here it is. How is Jesus' resurrection, how is that, and it being the first fruits, how does that encourage you to live the rest of your life as that promise that one day we too will be resurrected to new life?